How do you like that? A little surprise for you all. You like the new opening? Uh, that was something I was working on late last night, and I thought we needed something new. So let's watch that again, shall we? Um, yeah, well, thank you so much, Jackie K. Thank you. Let's watch that again. I love it. And you know what? When the Sussexes become multi-billionaires, maybe they will go and buy themselves a nice Boeing 787 Dreamliner. They are very fuel efficient. And anyway, one more time. Yes, yes, I love it. I love it. Um, anyway, that's like my new favorite plane is the Boeing 747 Dream. I'm sorry, 787 Dreamliner. But before that, and my all-time favorite, of course, is the 747, the Queen of the Skies. Um, well, let me say hello to everyone. Hello, Legs, Mo Shannon, Orlando Morris, Kids, Kids and Door, Kids and Door. Okay, all right, welcome. Worldwide birthday celebration, Tiger Hub. Hi, Ginger Lily, Audrey Teschner, Berta Sanchez, Joan Commonwealther, Connie Balmer. Hello, Connie Balmer. Elaine Parker. Who else is here? Lambert Charles, MLC, Charlotte B. Bonjour, Charlotte B. Mademoiselle Charlotte B. Bonjour. Let me see. Gentle Kisses, Chef Sandy Love, Sonia Johnson, Gwendolyn Daniels. Let me see. Clara Cador. Hello. Deanna Nasser, Berta Sanchez, Gwendolyn Daniels, Sheila Watson. Hello. Hi, Karen. Mary Hiker. Who else is here? Rose Green, Cal D. Howdy, Cal D. Let's see. Angela. Okay, I said Angela One Love, right? And Marshar is here. Stephen Black is back. Black is back. Welcome. Oh yeah, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Let's see. Orlando. Is that Orlando? Oh, you know what? There's something on my screen. Uh, let's see. Oh, thank you, Mary H. I think I said thank you already. Oh, let me go all the way back because I saw something earlier, and I think we have a new member, right? There's a new member for Royal Sussex. Uh, hello, Pam Porter. And Annie Bullard, hi. Annie wants to say hi to a few people so we could help out. Choda Cece, Vivian Ciani, okay. Sweetie Knock, okay. Uh, hello, Lydia. Okay, there we go. Honestly, Lover is our new member here at Royal Sussex. Hello and thank you. Alvia Watson, hi. Marianne Morris, did I say hi already? Good morning to all you fine people. Well, thank you. Good morning to you too. Good morning. Good morning. Oh man. Yeah, so I was up way too late and that is why we have a late start today. But last night was the first time I ever used the green screen technology. So that is how I came up with the Sussex Force One. Thank you, Connie Balmer. Thank you so much. Thank you for the super sticker. And happy Wednesday to you. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Elizabeth, oh, Jacuzzi. Hi. Ethan's husband is here. Okay. And Katerina Kemp is here. Hello, Katerina. Okay, so I may have missed a few people or a lot of people. But I do apologize. Again, I was up late last night. You know, when I get that creative urge to do something, I just have to follow through with it. Otherwise, I just kind of lose it. But that's the artist in me. And so I had to I wanted to do something different with the opening. I'm still working on a couple of other things, but it's amazing how fast the day comes and go almost in the blink of the eye. And as you get older, as you know, the days seem to go by quicker. Um, Gravity is not your friend. Or as I like to say, gravity is a mother. Gravity is a mother. Let's see. Okay, let me get my slides up here, which of course I was working on up to the last possible moment. Um, well, I tell you, someone else mentioned something that I've noticed for quite some time. They said, Petals, you're so passionate, however they said it to her. And Petals is very passionate about these different topics and causes, which is why we love her so much. I When Petal like gets into it, it's like you're it's like a master class in prosecuting a case, right? So I'm just like, if there's anybody who can get a cop on the witness stand and make him cry, that would be Petal. I would pay good money to see that actually, depending on the cop. But hello, Anastasia Isabella. Welcome. But yeah, I would pay good money to see that. I think that Petal missed her calling. She would make an amazing attorney. And the way she just kind of gets in there, and I think what it is that it's like she brings the shame of someone's um misdeeds, and it's like her voice is speaking for all of us. Don't you agree? I think she's just amazing the way she does that. So um uh here, three cheers for Petal. Hip hip hooray, hip hip hooray, hip hip hooray. Yeah, she's very good. I love her. Okay, Facts and Two Cents is where you'll find Petal, just in case you guys don't know. Hello, Tiger Hub. What is it? Tiger Tiger Hub. Okay, a Tiger K Hub. Okay. Okay. Sistren wants to say hello to a few people, and hello to you, Sistren CC. All right, so let's cut to the chase. Right here, you have the Duchess of Sussex. I love this black and white photo because it kind of reminds me of that famous photo of John F. Kennedy and Robert F. Kennedy, where they are all into whatever they're discussing. And it's a black and white photo, and it's like one of those really iconic images of the ages, especially for the Kennedy White House. That is like one of those iconic images, and that's what it reminds me of. And I don't know who took the photo. Could have been Harry, could have been someone on her staff. But I think that whoever took the photo realized that they were witnessing a moment that in the future we're going to say, oh, yeah, that was that day that you know what I mean? And that's what I'm getting from that image is that you can tell that this is a game changer. This is going to resonate for a long time. So, as a matter of fact, I think the one that I want to compare it to, of course, you know, vast differences between the time that the Kennedys were in the White House and, of course, present day Duchess of Sussex. But let me see if I can bring up that photo. I have it in my vast archives. I just wasn't actually prepared to share it with you. But while I'm on the topic, I shall. Okay, if I can just get it over there. I mean, I'm literally looking at it right now, but let's see what I can do. Oh, come on, cooperate, you beast. Okay. Are we going to cooperate today? Anyway, there's another way I can do that. I am going to do an upgrade on my PC because it is. Oh, you know what? That I was trying to do it in the wrong place. That's what it was. I was in the wrong place. Okay, I got this. I got this. No, that wouldn't have worked. Okay, one more time and got it. Okay, there's a magic to black and white photography. That one right there. That's what it kind of reminds me of. Amongst other amazing moments for the Kennedys, but that one right there, that's what it reminds me of. Is like one of those groundbreaking seminal moments in a career where something changes. And I don't remember what they said the discussion was, but the very same energy, someone knew that something special was happening. And for the sake of posterity, they decided they need to capture that moment on film, or in this case, not film, but on digital. Okay, so that's what it kind of reminds me of. So apparently, the Duchess of Sussex was minding her own business, just like the rest of us, and then enters the Supreme Court ruling that pretty much takes away the right to choose from women. When you have anger, you have a channel to energy. You have to channel that energy into something that makes a difference. That's what activism is. It's about how we show up, right? And so that's exactly it. And once again, the conservatives in this country have taken the rights of women for granted. Even by electing Donald J. Trump, that was literally taking women for granted because it normalized like a public abuse of not just the former Secretary of State, former United States Senator, former First Lady, and of course, the former First Lady of Arkansas, so on and so on. Not only does it show that no matter how many credentials you have, or no matter how much you have achieved in your life, um, because someone is willing to abuse you publicly and nobody stands up for you, nobody does anything, it normalizes that abuse. And this is, to me, I think is very abusive to women that you have a Supreme Court of people who first denied that they would change the law or change a ruling or precedents. And then, of course, having, you- I guess, shall we say, um, allowed us to believe that nothing was going to change. We see no reason to change the precedents. One of the first things that they've done since they've had that majority was do the exact opposite, go right in there and change it, and so here we have this very tragic ruling. So obviously, the Duchess of Sussex, like so many women who are also activists, feminists, was outraged by that and decided to take action. And it very much reminds me of the address that she gave to that girls' school after the George Floyd, where she pretty much said, okay, if we burn it down or tear it down, then we'll just have to rebuild it. And people forget what an activist the Duchess of Sussex is. They forget that to her heart, she is very much an activist in the spirit of women of color that have come before her. As a matter of fact, I was just listening, not listening, but watching an interview with Lena Horne, where here she appears to be this woman of pretty privilege, a woman who some people would say, oh, she could pass, or all of these things, but she never forgot her core beliefs. She never forgot the fact that as a woman of color, she had been discriminated against. Yes, there was the possibility that doors would open to her that were not available to other people, but she came from a long line of activists. Well, I guess her relatives wouldn't say they were activists, but they were outspoken, and she come from a long line of people like that. And so that lineage was passed on to Lena Horne, and she would not be silenced. And as you know, she had a collaboration with Medgar Evers, who she considered to be a very close friend. The Evers family were people that were near and dear to her heart. And in spite of the fact that she was able to open doors for herself and other people of color all around the world, she never forgot her core beliefs as an activist. And that's exactly what I see in this moment with the Duchess of Sussex. She takes that title very seriously. She has a profound respect for her title and her position, but she's not going to walk away from those values that she's had ever since she was that little girl who challenged a detergent brand, an American like consumer conglomerate. She's that same person, and I'm sure for squatties, I'm just preaching to the choir. You guys know this already, but for you derangers that are listening in and hate listening, trust and believe when I say this. Nothing has changed. And the fact that the royal family would not allow for this half in, half out has, you know what? They they should have been nicer at the time, because at least she would have been very respectful of her position as a princess of the realm, as the Duchess of Sussex, and she would have probably have approached some of these things a little differently. But since they have rejected the idea of having this woman of color in the family, well, of course, now her core beliefs, and not to forget her, I guess, very feminist values. Now they know no bounds. Now she's untethered, and she's able to go out into the world and to do the work that she's always done. And her platform is much amplified by her position, of course, but the Duchess of Sussex hasn't changed. Having that title has not changed her, and she let that part of herself um, be exposed to the world when she got married. She as a princess, she still, um, I guess, presented herself as a feminist, nothing more, nothing less, and she wasn't going to let that part of herself go. And I believe that in the conversations that led to the eventual marriage of the Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, I'm sure that was something that she said, okay, all of this, all of that, sure, fine, 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 but I am still a feminist. And they were like, oh, okay. So they thought that they would be able to use that status of this woman of color and a feminist. They thought they would use that to try to make the royal family look modern, but at the same time, they were trying to suppress and discourage and they were I believe the royal family was using the press to try to suppress her, to try to dim her light. They were trying to use the press. And so I believe that once they got into league with the press, that the press didn't know when to pull back because they were making too much money. And plus, a lot of them are really rotten people. And so it was easy for them to, number one, discourage her from being too modern and too feminist. And number two, because some of them, I'll just say the R word, are racist to their hearts, that was another no brainer. Yeah, let's tear her down. Let's dim her light. Oh, and if something tragic happens, oh well. That was the way they felt about it. Well, she's away from all that. She's in California. She's home, and situations like this, there doesn't have to be the little press release and those kind of things. She can get as deeply involved with it as possible. And trust me when I say this, nobody's taking any titles away. Nobody's taking any titles away. And people who say, "Oh, but she doesn't care," um, Harry's birthright is her rights as his wife. And both of those things are going to have to exist at the same time. So y'all might as well get used to that. People who say, "Oh, they walked away," and all, and what gets me is the squatties who say, "Oh, that's not important to them. They don't care about that." Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do, because that is Harry's birthright. Harry has not walked away from his birthright. There will never be a day when he's not Prince Harry. So, as far as I'm concerned, and trust me, if it was me, I would want the same thing. I want everything I got coming with my birthright. I got everything that is attached to the station in life in which I was born. But it doesn't mean that I would not do the work that they're doing if I was in their position. But, kind of hard to say. I'm not them, but I think you understand what I'm saying. Both of those things are important to be activists, to be global citizens, to be influencers, the most influential couple in the world. All of that is important to them. And they are also maintaining the dignity of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. So they're doing a great job. They haven't put a foot wrong since they left Narnia. Not a foot wrong. So, anyway, let me go to the next slide and then I'll look at a couple of your comments. Gloria Steinem, the Duchess of Sussex, and Jessica Yellen on abortion rights, the ERA, and why they won't give up hope. Um, Apparently, the conversation was brought together by Jessica Yellen, who the three of them they got together to have a conversation about what was happening. And one of the ways that we deal with some of the things in our world, not necessarily the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, but other things that we have discussed on the various Sussex friendly platforms, is by getting together and having a conversation. So that way you're not alone in your thoughts. And I believe it eases your frustration. Otherwise, you are kind of left feeling anguish. You're left feeling alone. And of course, when it relates to the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, as you know, we can't just discuss them with anybody. Some of us have lost friends because some of us have lost friends because of the way the Sussexes have been treated. I know I lost one because they read those headlines and they believed all those negative, nasty things that were said, and they couldn't understand why it was important to me to defend her. Well, it was, and it is, and it continues to be. And so that's what happens when you have a conversation. But it helps if you have a conversation with like-minded people. Not that we want to have an echo chamber for everything in life, but we all need to be understood. So I'm glad that that conversation happened, and I know Petal spoke about it for a pretty lengthy time, and most of you all that are here now have migrated over from Petals, so I won't go so deep into it, but it is in Vogue magazine, and it is worth reading it for yourself. Um, so let me just take a couple of comments here. Diana was unbreakable. Something else happened to her. They never could break her. She made sure Harry had a strong sense of who he is. It took Meghan to help him fully recognize who he is. Powerful. Yes, Marsha, I agree with that. They and they really tried to destroy Diana. Diana was just this giggly, shy teenage girl that married into that family, but she quickly learned her value and her worth. And if it wasn't because of the help of some friends that she had, um, she would have probably have gone completely mad, which would have satisfied them. They wouldn't have looked twice. They would have just taken the boys, raised the heir and the spare, and of course the media would help to orchestrate some type of story of how she was completely mad, and they would have just confined her to one of the homes or an institution or something like that, but she didn't go away quietly, and that was a problem for them. Cookies and Cream says the unroyal family and their racist minions can't accept the fact that they no longer have control over anything. Meghan, she is unstoppable. She will definitely stand up for what she believes. I am going to say amen to that. I'm going to say amen to that one. Let's see. Royals are all living in Wizard of Oz world, and William and Kate are following the yellow brick road, trying to emulate Harry and Meghan. Yeah, they want some of that magic of the Sussexes. It's amazing too, just to see the lengths that they're going through to try to elevate the two of them. Um, they're, and I can't say they're bad people. I don't know the Cambridges, but they don't connect well, grinning like a hyena and making those grimaces like the other one does. That's like the first thing that is like a distraction from connecting with people. The other thing is they don't have a lot of intellectual curiosity. They show up, give a little smile and a wave, literally, and then they leave. And they think that's enough. They don't follow up. And even with their staff of many, they don't care and they don't follow up. The staff is, let's get them in and get them out, and let's hope they don't look too stupid. And as for the Cambridges, they don't care. They don't ask questions. They think that their only thing is get in there, read the speech someone else wrote. It's amazing how the Sussexes can literally have a conversation in a circle of people and make a more compelling speech in that situation, just in a conversation, than the rest of that family can do with all of the staff and the people that write their speeches. And they don't have the same impact. It just comes across as disingenuous. um, but that's what the public wants over there. That's what is expected. And so, because of that, they're going to lose a whole generation of subjects, if you will, because the young people expect more. And just like when Kate went to that memorial for Sarah Everhard, I don't know that helped her image at all. The young women, I don't believe they're actually so connected to her. The ones that seem to be connected to her are only obsessed with how beautiful she is, and I don't think there's how she. See. I can't think of anything else they're connected to. You see what I mean? If I and I'm trying to be they she's supposed to be a great mom. Oh man. You see what I mean? There's nothing else there. There's nothing else there. And if you notice, the people that they talk to never come back and say, "Oh, they all they say is that they were so down to earth." Nothing else. That's it. That's it. The problem with Wade, Katie, and Willie is that they don't have interpersonal skills, not genuine or authentic, and are very performative. People see through that. Joanne Baker, yes, yes, and I don't want to make this about them at this point, but I'll pick them apart another time. But you're absolutely right, and it's hard. And you know what, Joanne Baker? Let me say this. I When people were accusing the squad of picking on the Cambridge children, just like we're doing right now, we are outraged by the hypocrisy. And we're not picking on anybody, but we all know that if the shoe was on the other foot, they would attack the Duchess of Sussex mercilessly. So that is where this conversation comes from. That's why it always, at some point, the conversation leads to a situation where, just like you and I right now, are pointing out the hypocrisy and pointing out what they're lacking and pointing out um, the faults of them, and not to tear them down, but just to say, hey, you had you had two very impressive people um, who would perpetuate this whole idea that the queen is responsible for everything. All of the stuff that the Sussexes would have been doing in the name of the queen, and taking very little credit for it, but they lost that privilege when they drove him out the country. So this is how we end up having this conversation like this. And I say to myself, I wonder why it always leads back to that. But it's because of how badly they were treated, and it's because of the hypocrisy. And even though people would love for the squad to just let it go, I'm not. I'm gonna keep pointing it out until I lose my voice. Let me see. Thank you very much for your comment, by the way. Arlene says trying to suppress Meghan was egregious, but trying to fit Harry into their mode was uh, as egregious as trying to fit Kim Kardashian into Marilyn Monroe's dress. Just couldn't fit. Yes, as they say, it's like putting 2 pounds of bologna in a 1 pound bag, for sure. Okay, let's move on. Meghan Markle, Gloria Steinem dig into racism, sexism in chat on voting. The two icons put women of color in front and center of the chat. Well, this is the conversation that they had some time ago, and this was during the lockdown, maybe. Anyway, there you have it. Peaceful under a tree. And I love this image because it's so casual. It is so serene to see these two icons kind of hashing things out. Who knows? I think maybe that was Gloria Steinem's house, not for certain. But anyway, I love this photo. Jocelyn Young says, Baron, there is no such thing as beautiful with Kate. What they like to talk about is those Ann Palmer dress she puts on, which is not relevant to the Gen Z generation. That's true. The Gen Z crowd is not very much into mid-century couture. So, oh, that is you're right about that. Okay, pardon me, I just had a sip of water. It got kind of good to me. All right. Oh, thank you for your comment, by the way. Pam Porter said there isn't a sincere bone in either of their bodies. Will and Kate are performative. They want to acclaim and recognition. I'm sorry, the acclaim and recognition without the work. People see it. True. Very, very, very true. Thank you so much, Lydia. Yes, there's over 900 in chat with only 328 likes. Shut the front door. Please take a moment to like. Okay, thank you so much for that, Lydia. And moving on. So, right there it says, for me, being biracial growing up, whether it was a doll or a person in office, you need to see someone who looks like you in some capacity, as many of us believe you can only be what you can see. That comes from the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle. And I do believe that was part of that conversation that she had with Gloria Steinem at the time. And of course, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. Where did she get all of this from? And as I said earlier, as I was listening to, and you guys, if you have not heard um, Lena Horne's story before, there's a wonderful documentary called Lena Horne, My Own Voice, I think it's called, or Her Own Voice, where she does part of the narration herself, and then there's someone else, I can't remember who the guy is that's doing the other part of narrating this documentary, but it was absolutely fascinating. And one of my favorite things is to go and look for the old talk shows. So the one that I watched today, she was on the Dick Cavett show. Fascinating to hear her speak and to hear some of the things that she had gone through. And I do remember back in the late 70s, was it? I believe it was the late 70s when she had the show on Broadway where she would sing and tell stories about Hollywood and the old studio systems and the way that there was this breakdown between herself and the people black people who were in the film industry that were trying to break through and get jobs not just on camera but behind the camera, and it was a lot that she had gone through. And so I think sometimes I compare some of the ways that Lena Horne was treated with some of the ways that Megan was treated, in that people get into the whole colorism and privilege and all those things, and they forget that at the core there is a woman of color um, who is being mistreated by this um, institution, whether it is Hollywood and entertainment and such, or whether it's the royal family, which you could easily confuse for Hollywood and entertainment. Um, People forget that at the core, there is a woman of color who deserves to be defended. So, on principle alone, it's just important that we speak up when we see these inconsistencies with the way they are being portrayed or treated. And because, like, as with the lawsuit with the Daily Fail, today it's me, tomorrow it could be you. Then that's the whole point of fighting for a woman's right to choose, because today is the issue of abortion, but tomorrow it can be very well whether or not we can vote, or whether we can live where we want to live, or marry whoever we want to marry, or whatever, or if you have relatives that you're trying to get into this country, uh, that may become impossible if they come from a certain continent that may not look like other people that are in power. So those are the issues right there. It's it's circular. What goes around comes around. So yeah, that is why we have to stand on principle. Okay. Oh, there's a birthday. Oh, happy birthday, Sonia Alexander. Bon appetit. Yes, happy birthday. Okay. There's a troll in the chat. Really? Do we have to do something about that, or okay? All right. All right. Well, you know what? We can do something about that. I'll fix that. I'll fix that right now. I was hoping that this wouldn't be necessary, but we can fix that. We have something for trolls. Let me see. I will take care of that the way I did last time. Go to customization and subscribers. Oh man, I love exercising this power. I am strong. I am invincible. I'm Royal Sussex. Okay. All right. I think I got it. Save. That ought to take care of them. All right. So long, trolls. So long. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. Okay. I hope that worked. Did that work? I think so. All right. Okay. I think I took care of it. I hope so. Uh, live chat replay. Subscriber. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good. So long, trolls. Thank you. Nice try. All right, moving on. Moving on. So there she is. There's our young activist right there. There's the Duchess of Sussex at the United Nations, and of course, taking on what was it, the Palmolive Colgate Company? Was it Palmolive? Uh, there we go. And here. Okay, so gonna change gears a bit right now. This is what I wanted to get into for a show. Okay, so someone just notified me that they were kicked out. Well, unfortunately, if you are a recent subscriber, you may not be able to participate in the live chat, but you can certainly watch. But it's necessary to get rid of the trolls. But in time, once you've past that 2 month period of being here, then you'll be able to or unless I turn that feature off. But yeah, I'm sorry about that, but it was necessary to take the bite out of those trolls. But you are definitely not, kicked out permanently. It's just for today. But the trolls were being a bit of a nuisance. Yes, thank you. Lydia says, I'm sorry to those who are loyal members, but can't comment now. But Baron is trying to protect the channel and the peace of mind. Please subscribe so this will not happen in the future. Yes, yes, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. But yeah, and you know what? I I I kind of mentioned this yesterday. I won't go completely into it for some obvious reasons, but there are some people who are hate watchers, not just to Royal Sussex, but to all of the Sussex friendly platforms. And those same people comment quite frequently on the hate channels like is it Neil Sean Neal? And uh, that river person is shocking the way that they make their way around. Now, I'm not going to say how I know that some of these people are popping up all over the place, but it's just if I did not like the Sussexes, I certainly wouldn't follow every channel that's friendly to them. But there are people that's doing that, and you guys know who you are. That's a sickness. There's something wrong with you. I don't bother with those other people. like the woman that lives down in the Caribbean. Um, it's for me, it's like a punch in the gut when I see a black woman with their channel hating on Meghan. That is just oh, I don't have the words. I don't have the words for the I mean, you guys can't see me, but I'm literally shaking my fist as I say this. I don't have the words for how disturbing that is. It's like looking at that Candace Owens going after black people, or what's her I was about to say what's her name? Um Clarence Thomas. It's just, can you be any more against your own kind? Oh, that is it's the worst betrayal um that you can experience in life. It's like having your own family talking crap about you or something. So, uh, anyway, let me stop thinking about that because I'm gonna get myself upset. Okay, so Pagan says, I have flu, so it took me a minute to understand why the Daily Fail identified Megan's friend Janina as CEO Mandana when the two women don't look remotely alike. Number one, um, to maintain that they have no friends narrative, right? And number two, to make the visit look like a business and not social call. Yes, exactly. Now, there you have it. They don't look alike. They don't look alike. Um, there's a lot of people, I would say the vast majority of the people in the world have dark hair. And there are, you know, who knows how many billions of people that have an olive complexion. So where do you get there that how did that happen? How did that happen? They're lazy. They are so lazy at the Daily Mail. And I'm going to tell you, you guys have seen the all kind of typos I've made. Sometimes I see it, I go back and fix it. Sometimes I can't. But if there's anything that has emboldened me to feel like, oh, I can be a content creator, it's the fact that the Daily Mail, with all their resources, with all their writers and editors and such, if they can put crap like that out, I'm entitled to make the occasional mistake too. I mean, I have gone through the Daily Mail and literally I could take a red pen and correct stuff myself. And if I could see your mistakes, you have really effed up. If I can find grammatical errors, uh, you need to take your college, your high school diploma, and just into the dean's office and place it on the desk because you have done something terribly wrong. There, I should not be the one. I should not be the one to find this stuff. And so, not only do they get a lot of grammatical errors, spelling errors, but they also made a mistake here. And then, of course, there is a certain element of racism. So, over there on the right side, it says, Hope you feel better, Pagan. I was wondering what the heck. Oh, I can see that. Let me lower that down. Was going on with their picture caption. They're so sloppy with everything. Yes, they are so sloppy with everything. I mean, we don't even know if that is. And then look at the bottom there. The Iranian activist was brought on board to oversee the charity's growth and strategy and day-to-day operations. The Iranian activists? The Iranian activists? This isn't Iran. This is the United States. But in order to trigger hostility, they had to throw in Iranian. Iranian. Um, there's nothing wrong with being Iranian. The problems that have happened in Iran is because of Western politics, because of the greed of the American and British oil companies. That is where that hostility comes from. And so to capitalize on it, in order to disparage the Sussexes, it was just another way to make them sound like they're this California nutty couple that's running around with activists and what do you call it, anarchists and such. That is what they're trying to say. That is the very hidden language that's going on right there. The Iranian activists. And her family fled Iran for religious reasons. As far as I know, they may actually be Christians. Not that it matters, but there are Christians that live in places where you don't expect to find Christians. But this is why it is important to know some geography and history. There are Jews that live in places where you don't expect to find Jews. There are Black people that live in places where you don't expect to find Black people. And so it just shows here is not ignorance. The ignorance is the fact that they thought that this was someone it wasn't. The racism comes from the fact that they wanted to other her by using the term Iranian. It doesn't matter that there may be some kind of wacko out there, a nut job or something. They may want to go after her for whatever. Oh, wait a minute, she's Iranian? And that's not even her. That's the whole point. She's not even in the car. There's a dark-haired woman with an olive complexion in the car. It has got to be that Iranian activist. That is sick. And they get away with this. This is what, and it's okay. Now, if you go and look for that same article, oh boy, they couldn't correct it. As a matter of fact, they didn't correct it verbally. They just replaced the name. Meghan's friend Janina. They replaced the name. Denise Ramsey, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you ever so much for watching Royal Sussex. And also, Alma Andrews, thank you for the super sticker, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. And happy Wednesday to you both. But yeah, the whole point is to other them. Verda Sanchez says, Mr. Barron, it's our own kind that will stab us in the back in a heartbeat. I don't understand why our people hate when one of us get to the top. It's like they can't be happy for one of us to succeed. I'll never forget when I heard oh gosh, what's her name? Was it Toni Morrison? She was on 60 Minutes, and she was saying that it's hard for her to trust white people. She said, because I think that if they ever send the trucks out and say you have to go with them, as they would have like what happened to the Jews during the Holocaust in Germany, and Poland and other places where they lived. She said, I just don't trust that they would say, oh no, you can't take her. But then she said, at the same time, there's enough of my own people, Black people, that I don't trust that would say, you can't take her. So I thought that was so interesting. Toni Morrison has a way to put things that was razor sharp and very clear and easy to understand. And it wasn't that she was saying don't trust anyone, but she was just saying that sometimes, like Verda Sanchez says, sometimes it's your own people. It's your own people that will stab you in the back. And it's sad, but so true. The power to other a person is really so dangerous. Thank you very much, Verda. And Marshall says, Baron, I misspell crap all the time, and my grammar is bad. Even though I have a BA degree in communications, I ain't no troll. Well, there you go. And that's the whole point. It doesn't mean that you're not a thinking person. It doesn't mean that you don't have ideas and that you want to share. But sometimes what's on the inside comes out in a way that well, and as we know, people will use that against you. That's one of the big put downs. They'll say you can't even spell your. You don't spell your Y-O-U-R. Your. Oh, you know what the F I mean. Church Nelly is here. Hey, Church Nelly. Oh, the fever broke. Thank goodness. Congestion and fatigue still here, though. Well, hello, Church Nelly. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're feeling better. I didn't know you had a fever. Oh, man. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better, and I'm glad you're here. And all I can say is drink plenty fluids, push the vitamin C, zinc, D3. That's what I did the last time I felt kind of wonky. And look at me, I'm still here. So do that. And of course, we'll keep you in our prayers. Okay, so here you go. Charlie is a close friend of Harry. Harry was best man at his wedding in August 2018, and Charlie was an usher at Harry's wedding. Charlie's brother, Thomas Van Strasbenzie, well, however you say that, is Princess Charlotte's godfather. Okay, so there was some confusion about this guy, and I'll get to that later. This isn't exactly in order, but I'll share that with you in a moment. So, is Janina misidentification is a confirmation I need? Uh, says Pagan. Observations are correct because they did it when Harry was out cycling with his childhood friend Charlie Van Straubenzee. I bet you that's not right. Instead of the fail, said Harry was just out with his security. Well, that's what they said. He was with one of his best friends for life, and they said this guy was his security. Right there, Prince Harry plays tour guide with longtime friend from UK on a bike ride in California. So People Magazine got it right, but the Daily Fail got it wrong. And there he is on his wedding day. This is like one of my favorite wedding anythings. They're on one of those three-wheel bicycles. He and his bride, and they rode off into the sunset. You can see the cans dangling on the back of the bike. I love, love, love that photo. And then I found another today. But yeah, this is like the coolest, like riding off on a wedding day that I've ever seen. I've never seen anybody do that on a tricycle, bicycle. But yeah, very cool. So um, I'm glad that I had a chance to share this with you guys. But yeah, for some reason that just captures my fascination. And so there you have it. Even Omid Scobie. And am I correct? Is Omid Scobie is one of his father, is it? Is Iranian? No, not Iranian. Oh, I can't remember. As much as the Mail would love to trigger its readers with the word Iranian activist, the woman in the photo is actually Janina Gavankar. So there you have it. And then Chris says, so with Mandana, but is believed to be Janina. Let me see, because we are sure Harry and Meghan have employees, but not sure they have friends. Right. That's the whole point. Is the Sussexes don't have friends. They only go to business meetings. The Iranian activist was brought on board to oversee the chair. Well, there's the same caption, but with a white background and black letters, but the same caption. How ignorant is that? And then if you go here, there's Janina. At the top is an Instagram post from last year. Meghan Markle wrote of Janina. Let me see. I got to get that down so I can see the whole thing. Oh, how I love seeing my longtime friend uh, at Janina. I just did the math. Did we become friends 15 years ago? Wow. With a friendship going back more than a decade, it's safe to say these two are close. Gavangar, if I'm saying that right, is also an actress who has appeared in shows such as True Blood and The Vampire Diaries. And then in another post, it said, I have known Meghan for 17 years. Here's what she is: kind, strong, open. Uh, Here's what she's not: a bully. The truth shall set you free. Well, if you guys remember, Janina was actually on that show with uh Phil and Holly. I believe that's it, Phil and Holly. And she really put them on notice. She said, hey, um Meghan has receipts. In so many words, she went on British television to make sure that they understood. I believe this was just before the no after, it may have been before the Oprah or after the Oprah interview, but when they started all that bullying stuff, she was the one who, just put the royal family on notice that you can go ahead and pursue this if you like, but if it ever goes to court, the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan, my friend, has receipts. Now that's a friend. That's a friend without any fear of reprisals from the tabloid media or anything like that. She went right into the lion's den to make the point known that the Duchess of Sussex is waiting for her day in court. The Duchess of Sussex would love to share the receipts that she has if given the opportunity. Well, they didn't want that opportunity. After over a year, they took the investigation and put it on the shelf indefinitely because there is no there. Dayani was born in Tehran. She fled Iran with her family to Latipoli, Italy, before being granted asylum as religious refugees to the United States through the help of Hayes. She first settled in New York City before moving to Los Angeles, California. Dayani attended the University of Southern California, where she received a BA and went on to earn the Juris Doctor from the USC Gould School of Law, where she was awarded the USC Summer Fellowship. Following law school, Dayani practiced law at Paul Hastings LLP as an associate. After leaving the firm, Dayani worked as a talent agent at a commercial talent agency. Dayani pursued a career as fashion and entertainment executive. In June 2021, she joined as president of Archwell, the organization founded by Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. So that's Dayani right there. She is quite the fashion plate. She's beautiful. She's smart. She's married. A high achiever in every sense of the word. A high achiever, and very much an activist for women's rights. And so, to just try to limit her to being the Iranian activist, I mean, where is it? Take a look at her credentials. This is a high achiever. And this is just a little snapshot of what she's done in her life. I guarantee you that the sad, pathetic royal rodent or troll that wrote that caption, the Iranian activist, hasn't done nearly as much with their life. She's rich, powerful, intelligent, and she has friends in high places. That's what makes this so pathetic, is that it's just like I was saying, well, you know how they treat black people. Whatever you have on your resume, whatever your credentials, they try to limit you down to the N word. And in her situation, all they see is Iranian, that Iranian. Never mind how hard she's worked throughout her lifetime. And as I said, quite the fashion plate. Um, she is to me the queen of the power pose. I mean, the absolute queen of the power pose. She knows her value, she knows her worth, and she's not afraid to display her talents. She's not ashamed or afraid to display her talents. Um, it sickens me. It sickens me that people are so threatened by her that they would use racism to try to tear her down. But that's the Daily Mail. Oh man, deep breaths, deep breaths, deep breaths. I'm trying not to get angry, but I hate that. I really, really hate that. Uh, okay, so gonna change gears a bit here. Well, let me see if you guys have any comments before I go. I was thinking, boy, I think I'm gonna let you guys out of here early today, but I just looked at the time. I've been talking for an hour already. Where does the time go? Let's see. Lelaine Mahahi says, Baron, the tabloids lie about Meghan. Can't we call out the and prove? Wait a minute. Can't we call the out and well, I know what you mean. And they are liars, and the lies must go. Lelaine, that's what we're doing right now. That is what the squad has been doing for a few years now. We have been calling them out. We have been presenting our receipts. And what else? And we're watching them, and we're a factor, 100%. As a matter of fact, for you, I'm gonna play a video. You have just reminded me that I have a video that I wanted to share. Some of you all may have seen it overnight. And I was up late last night working on two things. I was working on Sussex Force One, which is my new favorite thing, and the other one involves someone who publicly has mentioned the Sussex Squad, um, much to his dismay, but he had to acknowledge the Sussex Squad. Okay, so where is that turd? There he is. Yeah, and this is just a little short video, you guys. Just a little short one I'm going to share.
Actually address the fact that much of the negativity towards the couple is coming from within the royal family. The royal family and staff of the royal family are the ones that are very often leaking these stories to the press. Actually address the fact that much of the negativity towards the couple is coming from within the royal family. The royal family and staff of the royal family are the ones that are very often leaking these stories to the press.
So there you have it. I just wanted to make sure that people recall exactly what Dan Wooten said about the royal family. The royal family is leaking to the press. I just wanted to make sure that that was understood. Dan Wooten says out loud the quiet parts, as one of the squaddies said yesterday. Address the fact that the negativity toward them is coming from within the royal family. He said that. And what he said represents the whole of the Royal Rota and the Royal Reporters and all of the tabloid media. He said out loud what all of us have been saying for the longest is that there were leaks coming from inside the house. He said it. He put it out there. And that they were leaking against the Sussexes. So that is what the squad has been doing. We have been calling them out. Sussex Squad with receipts compared to the British tabloid press. Um, we have been the first and the last line of defense for the Sussexes. The first and the last, not always at the same time, but on occasion, we're the first to scream about these things, to make some of their lies, expose their lies, and make them trend on social media. And then on occasion, the mainstream media will pick up those stories and, you know, do the work for us. But mostly they turn a blind eye and a deaf ear to the obvious stuff. But that's okay. We're watching and we are going to make sure that the story is told. Marsha says, yes, Baron, the video gave me more nightmares than a horror movie I had previously watched. So many ugly, unroyal people, and Dan Wooten, the inhuman snake. Yes, he is a snake. Okay. And let's see. Joanne Baker says, Baron, you make me laugh when you imitate crazy Dan Wooten. Is so funny. Well, I told you one time I was listening to my own playback and I heard that voice and I'm like, where is that? And I realized it was me. The family. Oh, thank you, Mo Shannon. How are you today? Very pathetic. Gwendolyn and her. Oh, okay. I think that was for someone else. Let me see here. And Child says, wow, these people are as contentious and evil as they ever let me see, our touting their endless grievances as if their life depends on Meghan's every word. Yeah, that is what they do. And Teresa, that is Wiseman says, Wooten Warthog is very is really a sad excuse for a human, even less of an excuse for a man. There is no excuse for him as a journalist. I think he wields a certain amount of power, though. I think Dan Wooten is drunk with power. I think Dan Wooten loves the idea that he can make the Royals flinch, which I believe he does. He has said some pretty nasty things about them, but his most toxic attacks are directed toward the Sussexes. And then he will just blatantly lie on behalf of the institution. But let's go back to that very first part, shall we? Um, as a proud, okay, as a proud monarchist who staunchly believes the royal family must remain politically neutral and whiter than white, I'm desperately worried about what could transpire upon the death. I mean, upon the Queen's death. Wait, death. You got to say it like him. Upon the Queen's death. The Sussex Squad. Thank you, Elaine Parker, for the super sticker. And thank you for being a member. And thank you ever so much for watching Royal Sussex. And also, thank you, Audrey Teschner, for the super sticker. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Wednesday to you both. The royal family. Okay, let's do this, shall we? Hit it. Harry and Meghan making a 5-minute drive to Oprah's house in a gated community. Well, Princess Miss B, should I say, found this rather amusing photo. This is obviously a Asian leader being driven around in their Mercedes limousine, but you do get the joke here. The fact that the press is making a huge deal out of the fact that the Sussexes have gone on a 5-minute drive within a gated community. So when I saw that, I was like, "Oh yes, I get what they're trying to say." I thought it was kind of cute, but the way that the tabloids, or should I say, the way that the Daily Fail wrote up that story, you would think that it was like the presidential motorcade on the move. Oh, did I just say president? Well, let me put it to you like this. Not yet, but give it a few years. Not yet, but give it a few years. Okay? Wink, wink. Do you hear me, derangers? She's not the president yet, but give it a few years. Okay. I know who I would vote for under those circumstances. I still want to download that clip where Megan's father said he's part of breaking the relationship to stop the wedding. He mentioned names and Scobie in that clip. Um, I think I know which clip you're talking about. And believe me, the squatties have saved that receipt. The squatties have saved that receipt and is more than willing to share it when the time comes. So they did try to remove it, but again, we keep our receipts. Pedal's in the house, I think. Hey, Pedal. Hi, Pedal. This is Pedal of Facts and Two Cents, you guys. This is the one that I told you about earlier. Pedal has a very passionate way that she defends the Sussexes, and I am so into it. I love it. So if you guys haven't watched Facts and Two Cents, Pedal usually comes on before I do, and sometimes both of us move our schedules around as needed. But again, you guys can always go to that channel, go all the way into the menu, and hit video so you can find the most recently uploaded video, or you can find out if there is a video that is premiering soon. So remember to do that. And then you can find Pedal. Pedal is amazing at prosecuting this case that has been made against the Sussexes. She is actually defending the case that has been made against the Sussexes. So make sure you watch Facts and Two Cents. All right. All right. So right here, and I do apologize. This is rather jarring to look at, but the Met police officer shared deeply racist and offensive WhatsApp messages, including one which compared Meghan Markle to a gollywog, which is the very dark doll that you see up there at the top, and another where the boy in a hoodie was called a monkey in the jungle. Gross misconduct tribunal told. Um, and so Renee says, why do they need security? They say, maybe because the UK as a country has a racism problem and your Met police is not to be trusted either. This is what they did to Meghan and her babies. Her light skin didn't protect her. One drop rule still reigns supreme. Well, as you all know, the middle photo there of the chimpanzee, that is Royal Baby takes leave. I'm sorry, a little better. Royal Baby leaves hospital. Well, Danny Baker, who I believe is a radio personality, he posted that on social media. Now, that photo is obviously some vintage photo from probably what, the 40s, the 50s? Probably the 40s, I think. But whenever the photo was taken, it was some kind of gross characterization about something that had nothing to do with race. But Danny Baker turned it into something racist because of all the royal births that there have been. Royal Baby Leaves Hospital was reserved for Archie. That's who it was reserved for. But he swears up and down that he was not being racist, that he was just pointing out the irony or something like that. Two very smartly dressed people leaving the hospital at the same time that the Sussexes or Archie's birth announcement was either waited on or had only been mentioned or whatever, then this photo pops up. He got to keep his job. As a matter of fact, his ratings went up. His ratings went up. This is the Britain that they don't want us to see. As Americans, they don't want us to see this because, trust me when I say this, as African Americans, we have a very powerful lobby in the United States. Outside of Africa, it's the most powerful place to be for a person of African descent. I'm not going to say maybe, I'm going to say that's true. I tried one day to find a black born or African, British born African billionaire. I couldn't find one. But then again, even for white people in Britain, they don't expect you to step outside of your social class or caste system. It's not even just racism, it's classism, and there is a caste system that is firmly intact. I mean, we have it here, but it's a little different. It's a little different. But try to find me a person of African descent that is like a corporate CEO or owns a multi-million dollar company in Britain. I'm sure there are, just I couldn't find any. So that's the difference. And so that is why the royal family and the British press are working so hard to hide these images from people in the United States, in particular, Black people in the United States. Again, African Americans have a very powerful lobby. It's a force to be reckoned with. It is a if the African American dollar was that of a nation, our spending power is much higher than quite a few nations in this world that are wealthy industrial nations. So that's something that should not be toyed with. And so that's why they try to hide these images from us. They don't want us to see that side of Britain. They want us to see the side that maintains a commonwealth, which really is a remnant of empire. Commonwealth Day was originally called Empire Day, but that's almost forgotten. Just like this image, uh, go around the U.S. And show people this when the Cambridges come. When the Cambridges come to town, I hope they'll put this on billboards. That's where they come from, and that's what they represent. Thank God the Sussexes are out of that. As much as I was sad to see them go, it's images like this and stories like this that reminds me that it was necessary, that they had to go, and that there really was no room for them there because they were not welcomed. From the very beginning, they were not welcomed, and it only got worse as time has gone by. They will accept these adulterers, and even worse, they will accept this guy. They want this guy back. They want him back, even though even though there are still some people that reject the notion of it. But if everybody was on board with it in the family, we wouldn't even be having this conversation about him. They want him back. To do what? I don't know. Okay, so Audrey Teschner says Meghan speeches is something not prepared, but she is always herself uh, and articulate with her words. She stands up for us all. Meghan is here to stay. Thank you for that, Audrey Teschner. And Marshall says Black Brits should study and do as American Black people. Black folks in the United States has life-changing power that affects the nation. That's why certain politicians try to get the Black vote. Yeah, and even for the Republicans, they only need just a little bit of the Black vote, and that goes very far. They don't need all of us to vote. They just need a few people of color, few Black people, that is, to throw their votes out there, and they're good. They just need a few. Hen Pao says, you know what, Baron? I am now convinced that the black race is superior. You don't get, you don't go to all these. I'm sorry, you don't go to all this trouble against the inferior race. Titles are superficial. What is within? I'm sorry. What is within us? Uh, I'm I'm sorry. Is what? Okay, I think I get it. Is what matters. We are good. Well, Hen Pal, I appreciate what you say, but I don't think that it's about superiority. We shouldn't confuse strength with superiority. To do that is to pretty much create the same assertion that has been used to oppress the African race. We are strong, but I think in the eyes of God, I don't think any of us should say we're superior. I think we should play on our strengths and we should acknowledge our intelligence. But to say that we're superior, this is how dictators are born, and this is why they had um, the genocide in Rwanda is because one set of black people saw themselves as superior to others. So I don't like to throw that word around because it can be used by black people against black people. So yeah, I get what you're saying, but it's not helpful with these situations. Any concept of superiority means that you can play God, and I don't think any of us as mere mortals should do that. But thank you for your comment. Okay, Lorna Williams says if most African Americans really knew how racehorse the UK was, the UK would lose tourist dollars. So they give African Americans a smile and a wave when they visit. Yeah, and let's say this. I have been to the UK. I was treated well. I only had one incident, as I mentioned before, where I thought my skin color may have played into a very polite but all the same confrontation where I was asked to show my papers like I was a fugitive slave or something. But as I made my way to the first class carriage of a train, I was told, may I see your ticket, sir? And so I showed him the ticket, but it just didn't dawn on him that someone with my appearance could sit in the first class of the train. So that was that little weird taste in my mouth that I took back home to the United States. Was that, or was he being, you know what I mean? So I'll never know. But I'm going to just say that I do believe that it was because he saw this black person going to the front of the train instead of the steerage compartment. Just because I was like Queen Latifah on Last Holiday, don't get mad at me. Okay. And Carmen Bennett says, let me ask my favorite question. What is it about a black person, people of color, that triggers the others so badly? We are here. We're going nowhere. We are going nowhere. And that's true. Well, you know what? I'm going to tell you one of my theories about the reason that African Americans in the United States have perplexed um, the other races, the white race, is because we're all one big family. If you go back far enough, with most African Americans, you are going to find that, especially in some of the rural parts of the South, you are going to find that the white family that lives down the road or in the next town may be your family too. That's just a fact. And sometimes some of those white families that live down the road or in the next town, um, they have some African blood in them too. We're all one big family. We're all one big family. And whether or not we deny that, whether or not we pretend like it's not so, it doesn't matter. Those are your people. Those are my people. And that's all to it. There is, some family in the United States on both sides, well, families on both sides of my family tree that are my cousins, that are my relatives. And that's what complicates this thing is that some of those people who could quote unquote pass, they have black blood, that they share possibly with a neighbor and they just don't know it. Or sometimes they do know it. That's the weird thing is sometimes they do know it. If both of you guys have the same last name, like I don't know if you guys saw that special, well, not special, but it was about a plantation house that was purchased by a black family. It was on 60 Minutes in the US, not that weird 60 Minutes in Australia. That's more like a tabloid show. But one of the guys that worked with the black guy that purchased the house, or his family purchased the house, he knew that there was that connection to the plantation, and then also that there was probably a blood connection between the black family and the white family that used to own the plantation. That's why it's so complicated. If everybody actually submitted their DNA, boy, I tell you, this would complicate things like you wouldn't believe. And a lot of people are afraid of that because it may also infer that there is some type of inheritance to be paid or claim to land or something like that. So that's why I say it can get super, super complicated. Okay. Let me see here. Let me go to the next one. Oh, by the way, the very last one there says, "What a missed opportunity. They could have called it Georgina Floydina." Now, what Julie Burchill was implying by that, um, I think you know what she was trying to say. All right, all right. Let me see. Okay, so let's you know what? I'll read a couple of your comments before I do that. And let me put my Sussex Forest one up. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to do that. I was looking for the still photo. Okay. Catherine Walker says the mantra is divide and conquer. The purpose, keep trying to keep us divided on issues. We must vote together to make a change. Amen. As a matter of fact, Dayani, uh, let's see, let me find that. One of the things that Dayani is a activist about is voting. She was part of a Get Out to Voting campaign, or had established some type of Get Out to Vote campaign. So um, she is an activist. She is a lawyer. She is absolutely stunning and very, very well dressed. All of those things at the same time. So that was my little superficial thought for a moment there. Very well dressed and beautiful. Sister says, "Hi Baron, I saw William's video on TikTok. The hate was real. The mask was taken off and that grin was wiped off Kate's face. As for William, he totally forgot to smile and give a little wave." Oh, you saw the video where he went like crazy when he saw the photographer. That video. Yeah, I couldn't share it here if I wanted to, but I did see it myself and it was jarring, if you will. And Kate was in the background trying to say something, but it was hard to understand what she was saying. Cookies and Cream says, that racist with called Baby Lily and it. They called Baby Lily and it. She was also mocking George Floyd. Okay, okay, yes, absolutely. That's when she had said that. Oh, oh boy, I tell you, isn't racism ugly and such a waste of time? Oh, okay, I saw that one already. Reba Henderson says white people have only held power for a short period of time. We would know our history to regain our spiritual power, which they are afraid of and trying to keep us ignorant. Well, it's that power may be short lived because, as they say, the United States is becoming a very brown country, and that's what a lot of people in Europe are afraid of, is that those countries that they stripped of its wealth and, I guess, destabilized their governments, those people that have been displaced because of the policy of the West, they're not just looking for jobs and opportunity, they are fleeing for their dear lives. And all I could say, if it wasn't for the intervention of the Western powers, a lot of these people that are migrating to Europe and to the United States and Australia and all these places, um, I believe everybody would rather stay in their homes. But again, it's the Western policies that are driving people out of their homes. It's arming the Syrian government to destroy their own people that is driving people out. Um, that's what's happening. And I mean, I don't want to get so deep into that politic, but again, it's our tax dollars that are being used to displace people. And so when those people end up knocking on the door of the country and saying, "We're hungry, we're homeless, let us in," don't be surprised. Do not be surprised. They got to go somewhere. I'm not afraid of immigration. Instead of worrying about immigrants taking your job, how about you just work harder? Just work harder. If you're doing a good job, nobody's going to take it from you. If you're not doing a good job, it's because you've never had to. You've never had the competition. But I'm not afraid of competition, and I'm not afraid to work hard. I've had some pretty crappy jobs, and the pay wasn't great. And I've had some great jobs, but either way, I I showed up on time and I was prepared for work, and I reaped the benefit of it. So I'm not afraid of it. Okay, let's go back over here then, and changing gears a bit, it has been hot and heavy today for obvious reasons, but we're going to just lighten it up a bit. The spouses walked with Queen Letizia of, I mean, in what is that, Segovia? Segovia, an ancient town near Madrid. And there you can see Queen. I keep wanting to say Queen Latifah and and Jill Biden. They're wearing their wedgies, and there is First Lady Jill Biden. First Lady Jill Biden looks at one of the tapestries on display in the royal site of, what is that, San in Delfonso in Segovia. So yeah, there's First Lady Jill Biden. And this is something that is really upsetting the establishment. Nicola Sturgeon tried to use Independence Referendum number 2 to outshine her meeting with the Queen. Fury as NSP leader, Scottish, what is that? Scottish National Party leader, something like that. Anyway, has an audience with the monarch, 96, just a day after setting out her bid to break up the United Kingdom and a shameful lack of respect. Now, you know where that headline comes from. You already know where that comes from. That is courtesy of, wait for it, where is he at? Lord Nappyhead and the Daily Fail. It's inevitable. Scotland wants out. Scotland wants out. Because Scotland is leaving does not mean that the United Kingdom, or should I say that the Queen will not be Queen of Scotland any longer. It just means that they want autonomy. They want to they want to go back to the European Union. By having the Brexit vote, it is further pushing this referendum in Scotland to leave the United Kingdom, to break up that, what, 400-year-old um, union, so that they can go back to the um, what is it? I just said it too. The European Union. They want to go back. They didn't want to leave in the first place. So, thank you, Boris Johnson, and the rest of the gang of thugs that pushed this Brexit. They want to go back. Northern Ireland wants to go back. Brexit doesn't benefit anyone, including England. And so they want to go back. And so that was a huge mistake that they made, pushing for the Brexit, pushing for this clever scheme to help fund the NHS, which never happened. So keep Boris Johnson in there. That is going to be what destroys the monarchy, because first they leave the United Kingdom, and then next they're going to get rid of having a monarchy as soon as Charles gets in there. Omen Scobie says, a day after setting on October 2023 date for the proposed Scottish independence referendum, First Minister Nicola Sturgeon, that is, has met with the Queen at the Palace of Holyrood. By the way, Church Nelly, did I tell you I've been to Holyrood? Where's those eye rolls, Church Nelly? I've been to Holyrood. Anyway, Sturgeon gifted Her Majesty the Queen with a bottle of Johnny Walker Blue Label whiskey. Well, after that news, the Queen is going to... After finding out that Scotland is going to leave, that they're losing yet another Commonwealth country or realm, after finding that out, I think the Queen is going to need a shot of Johnny Walker. So it's been fun, Your Majesty, but we're up. We're out of here. Yep, so pour her a drink. Yes, Mo Shannon, I have been to Holyrood. Joan Commonwealther, did I tell you I've been to Holyrood House in Scotland? It's at the very end of the Royal Mile, not far from the Scottish Parliament. Yes, I don't like to boast, but I've been to Holyrood. Okay. So I think that's it, you guys. I think that's it. It was a very sober and serious Royal Sussex for a change. And I appreciate you all being here. And I hope that you have found today fun and yet informative. I am going to give thanks to our faves. Where are they? Oh, you guys are going to get out early today. Thank you to our Queen of Everything, Queen Doria. And thank you to our Queen of Hearts, Princess Diana, Queen of our hearts. All right. And okay. Are we good? Diana Hawkins, did I tell you I've been to Holyrood? Yeah, I think so. Okay. Catherine Walker says, it has been seen here. They are going against the squad. They are on a campaign to stop the togetherness, even though a lot of other races are included. Very true. And Marshall says, yes, my grandma had a beautiful long hair that she always wore in a bun her whole life. Even old as braids are very long. We have Native Americans in us, but when she passed, her long hair was gone. Oh, she lost her hair before she passed, huh? Sorry to hear that. Let me see. And Espinoza. Oh, that's for Gwendolyn. I'll get out of that one. And Diane Hawkins says they should be ashamed making gangster travel in her declining years. Let her stay at home, enjoy her gin, and thinking she's seeing Philip in and all of her long dead corgis. Philip, Philip. Diane, am I rubbing off on you? I can't believe it. That's fun. No, I'll thank you for that. Philip. That is the look of someone who's just been presented a bottle of Johnny Walker when she found out that she's losing yet another part of the Commonwealth. Oh well. Okay, you guys, I think we're good. We're good. All right. It's been an hour and 47 minutes. I can't believe it. Once again, let me share the new opening in case you guys just joined us and you missed it. Oh, there we go. Oh, I love that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Sussex Force One. That is my dream plane for the Sussexes. I hope they can get something like that as they travel the world, spreading love and good all around. Yep. I want them to have something, for the whole family and the staff and everything. And of course, when and if, there's I'm not even going to speak it, but just in case they move to the White House for the reason that I'm not going to say, then they could trade that in for another jet. Okay, I'm just kidding. Y'all know that's not going to happen. They don't want to be there, but it's fun to think about, especially if it gets under the skin of the Derangers. I'm all for it. Okay, so last word of the day. Anybody? Is this the last word of the day? Oh, that was for Gwendolyn. Sorry about that. Let me mind my business. Diane Hawkins says, I bet Andy is selling his mom's hair for cash. Notice how much shorter it's getting every week. Liz didn't come up with, you know, um, oh wow, I didn't think about that. But just imagine, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if he stood over her, you know, at some point with a pair of scissors and just clipped off little pieces of it and sold it on eBay. That sounds like something that he would do. Here's a little souvenir for you, mate. Oh wow. Let's see here. TMJ is going to tell Wooten Tootin that Meghan bought a plane for her. Yes, he'll probably tell her that. Yeah. And I was at my father's house going through stuff, and my God, they bought a new 787 Dreamliner. Wasn't that the worst acting in the world? I was over at my father's house going through stuff, and my God, what did I find? The Sussex squad and the Royal Sussex. Oh, that was just like the worst acting ever. I mean, a Rotten Tomatoes for that acting. That was pretty pathetic. And my God.
Thomas, I wanted to ask you about these vile individuals who refer to themselves as the Sussex Squad.
So I come to my dad's house and start going through it, and I look on YouTube, and my God, I see the Sussex Squad and the Royal Sussex page on YouTube. and the things they post. And that's where I found that disgusting video making fun of my father just because he's going to the Jubilee. I mean, and if you look on the Royal Sussex page on YouTube, you're going to see exactly whose it is. It's definitely Meghan Markle. And if it's not her personally, she's definitely paying somebody to do it.
And my God, that sounds like what was it? Superman, Great Scots. Was that the phrase from Superman or one of those shows? Great Scots. Speaking of Great Scots, did I tell you guys that Scotland is leaving the United Kingdom? Did I mention that Scotland was like, farewell, love, we're out of here? Oh boy. Now you know what? If the Queen decides to cross over anytime soon, you know they're going to blame Nicola Sturgeon. You know they're going to blame her if the Queen suddenly takes ill or whatever. You know who's going to be blamed for that. As a matter of fact, the tabloids are going to jump all over it. Now, of course, what is anger and beyond Hadrian's Wall to the south, it might be cause for celebration above Hadrian's Wall to the north. So, and did you all see that graphic? That it was a map where they were saying that when Scotland leaves the Union, that they're probably going to take Liverpool and a few other places with them, because as you know, the people of Liverpool, they're not very much the monarchist type. They are pretty because of the policies of Thatcher and some other reasons, they kind of have some bad blood with the regime in London. So there's that to consider. But Scotland is really cool. If you guys get a chance to go to Edinburgh and Glasgow, I would highly recommend it. But there's a lot of little quaint towns and stuff in between that I think that you guys would like. So, and the people of Scotland are really, really cool. But the thing is, once you get out of Edinburgh, you can barely understand anybody. I had so much trouble trying to ask questions or talk to people outside of Edinburgh. The accent is very thick. It's like you catch the first part of it and then it just drops off after that. It's like, what? Do what? Oh man. All right, you guys. I think we're good. Oh, Lydia, did I tell you that I've been to Scotland before? What about you, Mo Shannon? Well, you know I went because you talk to me every day. But yes, I've been to Scotland. I even went on board the Britannia. Yes, that Britannia. Susie Q, how you feeling? I'm glad you're here. I know you were under the weather. What was it, 2 weeks ago? And I know you've been on since, but I just thought I'd ask you how you feeling. How you doing? How you doing? And Dolores says, you're right. That's for cookies and cream. I'm out of it. Okay, you guys, I think we're good. We're going to get out of here under 2 hours. I was on an hour and 45 minutes yesterday. Okay, Teresa. You know what? Before I started Royal Sussex, my intention was to do a travel channel, and I just never got around to it. Once I started with the Royal Sussex, it gave me a chance to use my creative side. The artist in me had a chance to flourish, and so that's why I never continued with the. But I got tens of thousands of photos from my travels that I could share, and maybe I'll do that one day, like maybe one day a week. Maybe I can do something with travel and maybe some advice on how to be an overcaffeinated, chubby baby boomer of color in another country. I have intimate knowledge of that. Tamika Green says, I believe most of the countries apart from the Commonwealth breaking off because of the treatment racism toward Harry and Meghan. They're just nasty all around, mean and nasty all kinds of ways. Tamika Green, that is one of the aggregating factors that I believe caused the trip to the Caribbean to go so terribly wrong, is that people remember, and they thought about it, and it reinforced a lot of the images of the past from colonialism. uh, before they were just like our imperial family. Remember that Queen speech, the imperial family, where she says, be it long or be it short, our imperial family. Well, people ain't buying into that family part no more, so there you have it. Okay. All right. I think we're good. I think we are good. So I am going to bid you all a fond farewell, and I am going to Ginger Avengers. Oh, Edith. Hello, Edith. How are you? Mini Rucci Twitter account. Mimi Rucci. Check Mimi Rucci Twitter account. Okay, what's over there? Let me see. I'm all kind of nosy. Mimi Rucci. Oh yeah, I do follow her. Meghan Markle speaks with Gloria Steinem on reproductive rights. Is that what I'm looking for? Duchess Meghan's open ups about pregnancy and new interview. I see that. What else? Nah, not Chuck's people officially briefing this when he is in hot water over accepting millions in cash. Okay. New conversation with Vogue. I see that. Okay, I think I've seen all these. But yeah, I mean, it's worth taking a look, but thank you. I think I've seen all these. But anyway, glad you're here, Edith, and I hope you are feeling well. By the way, you guys, Prince Charles said he's no longer going to accept bags of cash. Prince Charles, if you are not going to accept bags of cash, can I have them? um, if you are no longer going to accept vast amounts of cash in a shopping bag, may I please have them? I will accept them. Hello, April May. I haven't seen you on here in a while. Oh, thank you, Dolores. Thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Wednesday to you. Okay. All right. Oh, you guys, I got to stop staying up so late at night. It's just, as a creative person, as an artist, I tend to feel more creative at night. I could go all day in a complete stupor, and then like about 9 p.m. I'll start working on something, and I just can't let it go. But I've been like that my whole life. Okay. Hello, Beverly Hardy. Okay, family, as Dan Woodman, family, the royal family. Hi, Karen. Prince Charles also just said how wonderful to see Harry, Meghan, Archie, and Lilibet. Seems that his distraction from the cash. Oh, he did say that. I wasn't aware. Ah, interesting. Okay. Gosh, I'm kind of hungry now. I done talked myself into an appetite. And the more I talk myself into an appetite, the more I talk myself out of some of my favorite clothes. Or eat myself out of some of my favorite clothes. The pandemic has been devastating to my waistline. All right. Therese Weisman says, Baron, you got your comedic rhythm at the end of the live chat. What's up, bruh? Well, I mean, there was some serious topics that we had to talk about that I felt like needed attention, but I was in a good mood. I continue to be. It's just some of those topics kind of put me out of joint. So what could I say? It's a struggle. It's a struggle, but these some of those heavier topics, they do need our attention. Anna Espinoza, that's for cookies and cream. Okay. Pencil skirt is up for grabs. Yes, if I keep doing this, I won't be able to get back into my Meghan Markle pencil skirt. I tell you, Royal Sussex in a pencil skirt. It is like the portrait Norman Rockwell forgot to paint. Over-caffeinated chubby baby boomer in a pencil skirt in oils. Now that would do well if they would put that in the Louvre or the Met. Okay. Let me see. Can't afford to do it. I just enjoy others. I love what they eat from different places. And Sonia Johnson says, Baron, I jumped back to hear Trenchtown Man. Okay, let's do a Trenchtown Man and then we'll get out of here. Last thought of the day is, what's our last word? Okay, this is it. Love to travel. That's it. That's our last word of the day. I love to travel. Thank you so much, Beverly Hardy. And let's do a Trenchtown, and then we will avenge. And I'm going to take me a nap, I think. That sounds like nap time to me.
Yes, Prince. Trenchtown wants $245 billion. That's what Trenchtown wants. $345 billion. Yes, thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what Trenchtown wants. Yes. What do you mean?
All right, you guys. I got some homework for you all. I do have some homework for you. Um, there is a part of our vehicles that most people do not know about, and it is called a cabin air filter. I repeat, it is called a cabin air filter. It is usually under the dashboard, or let's say it is it's like under the glove compartment or whatever. Um, Everyone who has a car has one, but not everyone has ever changed them. So I'm going to share with you a before and after photo of my cabin air filter, which I just changed. This is only the second time in life I've ever changed one of these things, but you really must address this because I believe that the air you breathe would be healthier and your car will smell better if you change your cabin air filter. Um, Give me a second to get this photo up. You won't believe it. You will be shocked when you see what it looks like. Um, Hold on, my computer is being very shady. Okay. Hmm. That's not working out. Let me try one more time. Okay, let me try this one then. Okay. Here you go. This is a before and after of the cabin air filter. You see that? The one on the left, the one on the left is the old one, of course. Notice that there's twigs and leaves and stuff that have been sucked into the intake. And on the right side is the pristine replacement. Again, that is the air that you are breathing. That is the cabin air filter. So again, make sure you change that. Some people have had cars for 5 years and have never changed the cabin air filter, but it's a real thing. So if you don't believe me, go on to YouTube and look up cabin air filter. And you'll notice that there is another air filter that is not under the hood, not for the engine, it's for the air that you breathe. Um, yeah, my car is not new. It's a secondhand car, so I had to um I had to change it. I know, isn't that a scandal? So if you have a late model car, believe me, you have this in your car. So change it. Change it. All right, that's it. That's it, folks. That is your homework. If you have a vehicle, change your cabin air filter. Love you guys, and I will see you all tomorrow. Change it. Change it. If you change your drawers, change your cabin air filter. It's filthy. Okay. Yes, Connie Bomber. I'm gonna go take me a nap, I think. And then I'm probably gonna wake up as hungry as a bear. Let me see. Dolores said, had mine done last week. Had to ask what the other filter was for. Yes, a lot of people don't even know it's there. They don't even know it's there, and you're breathing that. It takes in the air from outside, and if they didn't have an air filter, believe me, all this would be going into your lungs. So, you wouldn't want twigs in your lungs. So, when you change that, your air conditioner should work better, and your car should smell fresher. So, that's it. It only costs about 10, $20. Trust me, that goes for me too. You know, the question is, was that stuff actually growing in the filter? I mean, for something to get sucked into the air filter, I think that's pretty large. Now, that was under the dashboard. How did it get from outside into the air filter and that is that long is kind of strange, but there you have it. Scary, scary stuff. Oh man, I knew it would look bad, but this is worse than my last late model vehicle. So, what could I say, you guys? Change it. Yeah, twigs in your lungs. Yeah, I was shocked when I saw that. I mean, I knew it would have the occasional leaf, but twigs? There's twigs in my air filter? Oh man, that is ugh. I couldn't believe it. Anyway, that is the before and after, you guys. So I love you all, and I will see y'all tomorrow. And maybe there'll be a late night surprise video. We'll see if I could think of something, if I feel like it. I may not do anything tonight except for rest. Oh, don't forget tomorrow, I'm going to start probably early or super late. Well, not super, super late, but I have to take my cousin to his return doctor's appointment. He had open heart surgery and he is recovering very well. He had something that happened with his heart valve and he nearly died. They were like, if we don't operate, ugh, you know, if we don't operate. And so it has been a trying time for him. And I have been very concerned and everything. So I'm going to accompany him to the doctor tomorrow. And I believe he's going to get a good update. They're going to say that he's progressing well because he is. And listen to your bodies and listen to each other. Don't take those pains and such for granted. He thought he had the, pandemic that I can't say the name of, but it was actually his heart was about to almost explode, they said. So you just never know. So thank goodness he's okay. And I can't wait to see him tomorrow. Oh, thank you, Therese. Thank you. We were all very shocked by that. Okay. All right. Good night, you all. See ya. And enjoy this one more time. You'll be seeing this a lot. Let me take this away. Give us any chance, we'll take it. Leave us in rules, we'll break it. We're gonna make our dreams come true. Doing it our way, there's nothing we won't try. Ever.